cutting down persimmon wood worth billions of VND. The guard on the top of the mountain saw the police car, immediately blew the siren to signal. Woodcutters in the deep forest hear the yellow signal, leaving the pink wood, precious to flee. But one of them is named. Puspa called them back. Puspa says, leaving behind the rosewood that we are passionate about, it is too expensive to cut it down. I have a way to distract myself. Police search. Very quickly, the police went to this deep forest, headed by a specialized police chief. Destroy the lumberjacks. National Pink. He hates these woodcutters. Strong and decisive style. Paralysis of the police. Chief makes many people. Wood must be scared. The police chief walked up to the group of lumberjacks, but they didn't find any mark. Thanes of rosewood. Only saw a group of men. Were chatting leisurely. They said they only came here to release their feet. Puspa, in a corner, sharpening his axe. The police asked him what he was sharpening his axe for. Puspa replied that they had come here to take their feet, but I came here to hunt tigers. Puspa's words make it all. The woodcutters laughed loudly, listening to his scornful words. The sheriff was angry and embarrassed. He immediately pulled out a gun and pointed it at him, straight to his head. This action made the Kyle. Wood is not satisfied. They simultaneously held axes, standing on Puspa's back. As long as the police chief dares to make a move, they will come in and deal with him, and several other police officers here. Sheriff, in his gun, there were only 6 bullets, and we have more than 60 axes. It is best for him to think carefully before taking action. The sheriff saw them, overwhelming crowds. Even his subordinates advised him to consider, even though he was extremely angry in his heart, but he had to suppress his anger and ignore it. The sheriff and his teammates did not know that on their heads, a few tens of meters away, the persimmon logs are suspended. When the sheriff left, Puspa swung the axe in her hand. Pink logs of thousands of male values, billions of prices were cut down, thanks to his intelligence and ingenuity. Puspa from an unknown woodcutter later rise to become a mighty man. They still move logs, pinked down the mountain, weighed and loaded onto the car, because they are only declarants, waterfall, and still move normally. Even if you can earn a few thousand dong in remuneration. But, compared to traders and rosewood buyers, this amount is insignificant. This time, thanks to Puspa, the batch, this wood is preserved. The smuggler also gave him an extra 1,000 dong, but at that moment, the chief of police, who had already left, came back unexpectedly. He led dozens of policemen here, asked the lumberjacks and merchants to immediately surrendered. Otherwise, you will be shot, merciless. With hatred for the lumberjacks, he was sure he would do it. No one dares to move. But Puspa isn't just smart, he was also very brave. Brother a stone and throw, straight to the sheriff. The police chief was hit in the head by a kick. Thanks to Puspa's leadership, others began to follow suit. The flying stones make the scene. The killer couldn't stop raising his head until the sheriff fired a shot. The lumberjacks hurriedly fled, unarmed. They can't confront the police while fleeing. Puspa also had time to load rosewood logs, the last color on the car. Get in the car, start and launch quickly. Trucks waiting for tons of timber. The pink color quickly fled the place. The police chief also chased after the knot. The two sides chased like an action movie. When the police caught up with Puspa, only saw him standing alone in the middle of the road. The truck waiting for the pink wood has disappeared. Puspa is extremely arrogant. Without waiting to be caught, he voluntarily stepped into the police car. This is a cheeky thief, the most I've ever seen. The police beat him to the ground with a baton, but he didn't make a sound. On the contrary, they also ridiculed the material, whether they are hungry or not. The police chief was furious when he heard it. He asked Puspa if he had hidden the number of rosewood. Where are the billions worth of colors? Puspa kept her mouth shut and didn't show her teeth for half a word. He knew that if he declared, the boss of the road merchant will kill him. Since there is no evidence, there is a Puspa guarantor, released in less than a day. He works for a merchant group, Reddy's house. Jolly Reddy, a big guy. Sometimes he likes to marry his wife everywhere. Yaka Reddy, smart, healthy, responsible for trading rosewood. Konda Reddy, he who loves to serve with virtue. If they do not submit, they will be beaten to death. The whole Reddy family group, controlled by him. When they heard the news, Puspa didn't just tell, all in a pink wooden car. But after being arrested, he still did not provide any information to the police. So they bailed Puspa out. Opposite Yaka Reddy and Jolly Reddy, Puspa still kept a calm expression. He opened his mouth to immediately ask for 500,000 excess money. Hearing that, Jolly Reddy immediately wanted to teach, give him a lesson. but Jacka Reddy stopped it. Just Puspa due to the number, hidden rosewood. They will agree to pay him 500,000. So Puspa led them to a deep hole. When he was chased by the police chief, Puspa was determined to drive back to full persimmon wood down this hole. When they pulled the rosewood logs, the price of the index is billions up. Jacka Reddy keeps his promise. Charway, Puspa 500. Kazava was overjoyed. He has never seen so much money. When two people want to hitchhike by Jolly Reddy to go home, they are cruelly ridiculed. He threw them 10 coins and hide, told Puspa to take a car and go home. Puspa was angry and spent all the money just earned to buy a car. Puspa has been an illegitimate child since childhood. Is the result of the landlord after a drunken death. Therefore, he and his mother were often beaten by him. Half-brothers ridicule. After his father's death, mother and daughter don't even to participate in the funeral. When he drove the new car, the whole village paid attention. His mother had worked hard to raise him. Puspa vows to take care of her mother, live happily in the future. Puspa drives the new car around the house, the half-brother to show off. Now I am also a car driver. The half-brother only knew how to look at it angrily. The Jelly Ready car saw. Didn't you just now? Let me sit in the car. Now I have a new car. Looking at the arrogant side of Puspa's network. Each player between two people. As concluded, Kona Reddy hosted a emergency meeting. Because the new police chief pursued, sweeping too harshly, causing lots of rosewood are seized continuously. Kona Reddy was angry because lost tens of billions. Some street traffickers were beaten, to the point of not daring to pick teeth. But at this time, Puspa spoke up, said that he had a way of bringing wood. The red color was checked, but he asked for 500,000 per car. Kona Reddy doesn't know much about the name of Puspa. Da, act. Jacka Reddy immediately won the Yao, like his brother. But Jelly Reddy deliberately mocked him. We made dozens of smugglers. The year could not be solved. What good ideas do you have? Puspa just replied, I have my way. Seeing him so confident, Kona Reddy decided to let him try. The wide guys start to cut milk cartons, then stuff the pink logs, precious as gold, to the bottom of the barrel. Metal reseals, then pour the milk into the barrel. When checked by the police, Puspa said he had refunded his salary and are currently doing business legally, specifically milk transportation. The police were green, but not what to detect. So, Puspa became transportation of fee. Pink logs worth billions. Reddy's family offered to pay him 500,000, but Puspa refused. He only wants 4% of the profit, which is 400,000. Kona Reddy was surprised. There are also those who criticize money a lot. So he immediately agreed. Best friend Kezava didn't understand. Can obviously earn 500,000, but Puspa only received 400,000. He explained to Kezava, if I get 500,000, I will become a hired worker for them. But if you receive 4% of the shares, I will become a partner. Whoever understands will understand. In the next time, Puspa thinks of every way to transport the cow. The lot of pink wood came out. They don't just use milk trucks, wedding cars, even used an ambulance. Rosewood is continuously exported abroad. Puspa also earns quite well. But over time, the sheriff began to doubt. That day, Mr. Bitch came to check. First, he used his elbow to knock to the roof of the milk truck, knocked on the bottom of the car. The sound from the two layers is clearly different. Not in time for the police to search carefully. Two panicked drivers planned to quit, ran but was arrested on the spot. Both of them are very stubborn. They have not yet been fought. At this time, a lot of persimmon wood worth 20 billion VND is being transported to the Reddy's family. The Reddy's family will deliver this lot of wood to a customer named Shrinu. Shrinu controls the entire line, underground rosewood trade, all organizations and traffickers. In India, it's all dependent on him. He sells rosewood all over the world. The price of rosewood will also increase in the near future. After all, Reddy's family also only works for Shrinu. Because he is now being severely examined, they have to temporarily hide the number of rosewood, this color in the deep mountains. When Puspa arrived, he discovered a lot of wood. It must be moved, and is still there. He was going to ask Jelly Reddy to find out what happened, but found that the door was locked left. Puspa used an axe to break the door and saw women locked inside. He hates that women are treated badly. Silver should immediately release her. When Jelly Reddy came back, it was like going crazy. But just then, Dar Reddy called. Said the police knew where the rosewood marks They had to immediately move all the timber. Jelly Ready is a person who only knows how to use, without thinking. Up to this point, he still didn't understand how serious the matter is. Only knows how to punch Puspa dustbags. Puspa still didn't fight back. But all the rosewood was cut down. I've been here for the past few months. Now I want to transport it in time. The sheriff is leading A. The police team arrived very quickly. To save the number of rosewood, the price of these hundreds of billions, Puspa gave Cassava 100,000 in cash. And told him to bribe the manager. Dam at the source of the Ganges River. Then order everyone, throwing rosewood into the river. Puspa Vang Diu, M. Out. The lot of rosewood spreads down the mountainside. Just pick up the wood from the river. They will earn hundreds of billions. These are 1,000-year-old roses. Precious as gold. They're about to be swept away, dam and drift into the sea. Cassava quickly gave 100,000 cash, bribed the dam manager. He went to the general. And he pull it up with force. Thanks to that, all rosewood has been retained. When the police received the news and arrived, they searched all over the place. But the results found nothing. The police contained no knowledge. The number of rosewood was thrown into the river by Puspa and drifted downstream. He was furious. Clearly knew Puspa was a thief, but there was nothing he could do. Because Puspa has preserved the wood law, pink worth 20 billion. He was invited to the party of high-level smugglers. He is the biggest worm in the smuggler world. Shrinu also personally welcomed him. This means that Puspa already has a foothold in the smuggling world. Puspa is gradually showing signs of rising, but then he overheard the word. Another merchant that these coal. Others are paid up to 5 million for each ton of wood. Hearing that, Puspa felt very upset. He put his life to work, but it is not equal to the odd part of others. He immediately found Konda ready and told what I just cheered. But in the world of smugglers, Shrinu is in absolute power. They also have to depend on him to sell wood to the world. No one can change the price he set. Shrinu also has a national association behind the back. The 3 Reddy brothers had to swallow their anger. Konda, Reddy, B.O., Puspa, Dodi, meet Shrinu to talk. If Shrinu agrees to increase the price of wood to 200 million a ton, then you and I will divide it equally. The next day, Puspa arrives at Shrinu's mansion alone. This smuggler wants to increase the price every time. Tons of rosewood by 200,000. Mr. Lian was ordered by Shrinu To. His sister-in-law was beaten to death. The smuggler's brother, to meet with the MP, asked for help to want Shrinu to release her brother. But Shrinu replied that it was gradually dead. Soon after, this person was also killed on the spot. Puspa witnessed the scene of the merchant with his own eyes. Smugglers who want to increase prices are killed. But he didn't back down. Shrinu said that he had just passed, controlled by 2 touches. He had asked for 800,000 a ton. But Puspa says that through touch checks, it is not so easy to check. And he also had to go through 15 touches of control. Much harder. Therefore, Puspa asks for a price increase from 2 million to 5 million a ton. Shrinu's face immediately became unsightly. Before he had time to say anything, his sister-in-law spoke up first. This guy just asked for an increase of 200,000 and I've already killed you. But, fortunately dared to ask for an increase of 3 million. Puspa does not save face for anyone. If Shrinu does not agree, then he will sell rosewood for Shrinu's opponent. Shrinu had never met anyone so arrogant. Puspa left complacently, but he came back right after. In front of Shrinu and his sister-in-law, Puspa holds Shrinu's phone and find the opponent's number. Say you have a lot of timber, premium pink for sale. Both parties immediately agreed. Convenient place of transactions. Puspa is confident to the extreme. This completely angered Shrinu. He gestured with his eyes. A subordinate rushed over, hit Puspa with the butt, but was beaten back by Puspa. Puspa alone can defeat Shrinu's minions. The feud between the two sides are completely engraved. That night, Puspa and Cassava meet Shrinu's opponent. They gave him a sample of wood, pink color to check. This is a 1,000-year-old pink log, priced like gold. A small sample is also worth millions. Buyers are extremely excited to meet Puspa. He traded rosewood. How many years have not? I have seen such a classy product. But Puspa also has tens of tons. He searched in the primeval forest, born for a few months, discovery of a lot of rosewood, this high-class color. When buyers witness the timber with their own eyes, this pink color is more expensive than gold. He immediately agreed to cooperate with Puspa at a price of 1,000 billion per ton. Puspa Gni Dodim Cho Kondaredi reported that the deal had been finalized. Kondaredi didn't know that Puspa cut off with Shrinu. But, compared to the price of 200 that Shrinu proposes, Puspa's new buyer pays 1,000 billion. This price made him unable to harden. According to the previous agreement, the two sides split the profits in half. Although unhappy, Kondaredi still had to agree. Two sellers of news about rosewood to the police who were arrested by Jolly Reddy. One was killed on the spot. The other old man was afraid of dying, so he wanted to use Almond, his daughter's blessing, to ask for forgiveness. When Jolly Reddy heard that he had beautiful daughter demanded, she had to humiliate herself the day he was spared. But Jolly Reddy didn't know. That girl named Shravali had loved by Puspa for a long time. Shravali crying water blooms on. The inverse of Puspa, begging him to save his father. Seeing my woman love crying like that, Puspa immediately leads Shravali to Jolly Reddy's house. This guy dares to take over his goddess. Puspa rushed forward and threw a blow, kicking Jolly Reddy in the chest. Finally hit hard with an elbow, causing him to collapse. Jolly Reddy was furious. But when you can't fight back, then turn to Shravali. Puspa rushed over, hugging the goddess tightly in her arms. Then Puspa grabbed him by the neck, then threw a thunderous kick into the lower body. Jolly Reddy's happiness declines. Again, it will be dissolved. Then, Puspa is constantly showing in front of the goddess. Jolly Reddy was beaten to the point of being paralyzed. Finally, Puspa and the goddess left full style and rescue her father. But when Kondaredi saw her brother being beaten so badly, he was already dissatisfied with Puspa. Now he is even more angry. One of my subordinate boy was stabbed by him on the spot. The next day, on the way to the base with Kondaredi, Puspa suddenly had a sack on her head. When you wake up, Puspa saw a group of people digging a hole. He was used by several big coachmen. The stick beats mercilessly. Kondaredi has long wanted to help Puspa too, accounting for all the rosewood business. The incident with his brother only is the perfect excuse. This thief was pushed into the pit. Kondaredi points a gun at his head and pulled the trigger. But after the gunshots rang out, the one who fell down was Kondaredi. Shrinu's sister-in-law led people to kill him. Yaka Reddy saw his brother killed. Immediately pick up the weapon to the standard. Are fought with opponents. Just in the eyes of the eye, the two of them have collapsed. When the two sides are fighting, Puspa quickly spreads out, hit, and run away. Shrinu's sister-in-law was too crowded. Yaka Reddy's side must fight while retreating. No longer have good luck with Puspa. Puspa deteriorates a lot, lost his life. The three factions ran into the forest. Although Puspa has the same head and difficult travel, but he has lived in the mountains and forests since he was a child. So, Shrinu's people can't keep up with him. But while running, he slammed into a large tree. The other was scared before Puspa's position. He got up and tried to run away in the direction of different. Puspa quickly gave chase. But there was a guard tree in front of him. The road made him fall faintly, through a gap. He could easily see that the tree had a place to protrude. Immediately thought of a way. He took a few steps back, and then rushed forward with his sword. Take advantage of the overhanging branches to pull the head cover down. After regaining his vision, Puspa jumped up, knocked down two people who were going to kill. Body. Thick cutting dazzling. Hurry up. The other guy, when he saw Puspa stop, go back, and pick up the knife on the ground, then rush towards Puspa. In the last moment, Puspa shoots to finish him off. At the same time, Shrinu's sister-in-law caught up with Yaka Reddy, who was running away. Yaka Reddy's people times. The turn is killed. Yaka Reddy himself was also hit by a slashed at the back. Very quickly surrounded. The sister-in-law carried the gun to the ground. Want to use a knife to slowly torture Yaka Reddy. But at this time, Puspa not only does not run, but come back and kill them all. Yaka Reddy's gaze. Puspa has changed. He had never thought before. That Puspa is so cool. Shrinu's sister-in-law saw the crowd. Is not an opponent. Immediately took Shrinu out to threaten. But Puspa is not an easy person to be intimidated. At this time, Shrinu called his wife. But the respondent was Puspa. Shrinu immediately realized sister-in-law had a problem. Shrinu's voice immediately rejoined. He said that he could cooperate with Il. Puspa, and the price will be 1,000 billion a ton. But the condition was to release his sister-in-law. At this time, Puspa was no longer interested. He caught Shrinu's voice in front of him, said that his sister-in-law was dead. After speaking, he shot the toy, Shrinu's sister-in-law. Hearing the gunshot, Shrinu didn't dare to tell. Her brother's wife was killed. Now, the rise of Puspa is unstoppable. Not long after, the same men came from all over the country. All attended Kanda Reddy's funeral. Members of the National Assembly also attended the meeting. Right in front of the parliamentarian, Yaka Reddy pointed straight at Shrinu, who had killed his brother. Puspa poured out a bag of cash, said that Shrinu stole 300 billion rupees per tonne redwood without letting parliamentarians or anyone know. Shrinu also tried to argue. As a result, members of the National Assembly have reprimanded Shrinu on the spot. Although Shrinu controls the entire trading group, but in front of members of the National Assembly, then he must also obey orders. The knight dismissed Shrinu from the throne. Tree Mr. Trung Buonlo Group. Puspa wants to take Shrinu's place. Yaka Reddy also spoke out in support of Puspa. In the end, the MP decided to leave Puspa temporarily. During the time of running the Buonlo Group, all road trading activities must be through Puspa's hands. Shrinu did not dare to oppose the parliamentarian, but to calm his wife at home, he asked the parliamentarian to let Puspa pay his sister-in-law's color. But unexpectedly, Shrinu sat down on the throne. My sister-in-law just now. From then on, Puspa takes full control. Underground red timber trading market in India. He is both brave and wise. Good and work. His business is increasingly prosperous. Puspa officially got up and walked to the peak of life. After Shrinu was stripped of power, he fell into a state of depression. His fierce wife, when it is impossible to be conservative for the younger brother, used a knife across Shrinu's neck. But he wasn't dead yet. Shrinu's wife's hatred for Puspa has reached its peak. Jelly Reddy also hated Puspa, but now his leg is broken, and do not know when it will heal. The police chief always want to catch Puspa too, had to choose to resign because of helplessness. A new detective came up, who have a tougher method. He extremely hated the lumber traders. Whoever falls into his hands, without a good ending. The timber merchants were terrified when he heard his name. Seeing that the business is difficult, Puspa decided to use the money to bribe him. Facing a bag of cash, the sheriff didn't even turn a blind eye, but the whole harvest. Scroll the confrontation between him and Puspa is just getting started. Puspa movie. The rise.
Enjoyed the video? Hit subscribe, drop a like, share with your crew, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk movies.